Welcome. This is the Champions League draw, the round of 16. All games were completed yesterday. Yes, all games were completed yesterday. We had some crazy games yesterday. Inter Milan dumped out, which is kind of a shocker. But it's kind of not really because, look, I know Inter Milan had an aging squad, but we're going to get into that later. But yeah, brilliant game yesterday. We're going to talk about all the Champions League and we're going to talk about the draws here we go. We're going to talk about the draws of what happened yesterday. So bear with us. This is the trailer. I'll be back straight after this. So yes, this is Solo P1. Welcome to the Champions League draw. We're going to be talking about the Champions League draw today and what our thoughts and plus the games, what happened yesterday. We're going to be talking about them games as well. But remember to hit that like button, hit the subscribe. This is what we need on this channel. All the love, big up to everyone. And yeah, so first of all, let's talk about the biggest shock, I reckon, of the Champions League draw. Bodo. Is it the Bodo? Is that how you pronounce it? Bodo. Norwegian team going through, knocking out Inter Milan 5-2 on aggregates. So the first leg was more or less over, but the second leg, maybe, and people thought maybe Inter Milan would probably come back, but they didn't. Bodo, the Norwegian Giants, that's what I'm going to call them. The Norwegian Giants. That's their nicknames. They came, they went, they left, and they are through to the last 16. This might be a fairy tale for them. One of them, they might get the fairy tale engine. Listen, let's face it, this Champions League draw this season, the Champions League overall hasn't been the strongest. I don't think it's been the strongest. The Champions League, I think this is probably one of the weakest seasons of the Champions League. I think anyone, you know what, looking at the teams, yeah, I'm looking at Galatasaray, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Atalanta, any of them teams, apart from Spurs, probably could win this Champions League. They could. Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain. Look at Barcelona. We're going to talk about who we're going to play next. We're going to bring that up later. Who we're going to play next. But looking at everything, yeah, anyone can win this game. It's not really the strongest Champions League draw, I would say. But yeah, it's going to be good. I'm not going to bring up. I'm going to wait for Toto to come in. I'm not going to bring up the draw yet. I'm just going to sit here, talk crap for a little bit till he comes in. He's having problems with his laptop, so I'm just waiting for it to come in. But yeah, happy Thursday, everyone. I can't believe it's Thursday already, man, bro. Thursday already. Thursday. You know what I mean? It seems like it was only Sunday the other day, man. Now it's Thursday. Thursday. It's crazy. The 26th of February. February done already, man. Soon it'll be the summer. Spring come down and it March. Spring come. So we're going to have the spring weather. Then it's going to be summer all over again. Rinse and repeat. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. How time just flashes by, man. Time just flashes by. It's crazy. Yeah. So, today we're going to be talking about the draw and probably some rumors going around as well regarding Liverpool Football Club. Remember, guys, if you're just joining us, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, and get it all done, man. Get it all done. Yeah. We're gonna bring in Toto.
Yeah, so my laptop was very, very glitchy. It's messing up, but yeah, glad to be here anyway. You know, as always, I'm feeling well, feeling good. You know, I recently had it's been some stuff going on for me recently. Recently had a league yesterday in Formula One. Had a good stream. Lots of people came in, which was good. But yeah, nothing really much going on. I'm not really. I just said there's lots going on, but again, streaming today again at 6 p.m. as always. So whoever's watching, you can go check me out there.
Yeah, man, it's all good. I was just talking to myself as you do on YouTube, and I was looking at the Champions League over this season, and I don't think this Champions League, you know, the actual composition is probably the weakest it's ever been. You know, I think if I was looking at the teams, I'm not going to bring up I was looking at the teams, what I left in it. Yeah, looking at Atalanta, look at Bodo. Big up to Bodo, knocking out Inter Milan. Big up to them. I call them the Norwegian Giants. You get me? Big up to you, bro. Welcome. I call them the Norwegian Giants. You know, Bodo.
Yeah.
They're because the Norwegian team in it, and I call them the Norwegian Giants because they're there, man. They're in the last 16. They're living their dream. This is the first time they've ever done it. I'm not sure if this is the first time. I think it might be the first time they've been in the Champions League. You know, Bodo. They rocked up on. I think the first leg was more or less won when I was at their ground. They went to Inter Milan. They rocked up on Inter Milan. They beat them 2-1. They beat them 2-1, man. And now they're through, man. Now they're through. We're going to bring up the draw in a minute. We're just talking about the teams. I'm looking at Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Leverkusen. Liverpool, Galatasaray. Any of them teams can win the Champions League. The only team that I look at there probably ain't going to win the Champions League, no disrespect, is Spurs and probably Bodo. But you know what? Bodo could do it, you never know. But Spurs ain't going to win it because Spurs is Spurs, and they're going through a turmoil at the moment in their club. So I don't think they're going to win anything. But the fact that Newcastle's still there as well, I don't like the draw. I'm looking at Newcastle's draw. I don't really like the draw, but it's it's one of them, isn't it? So we're gonna start with the draw first. Let's see if I can copy and paste this so we can put it up on the screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, guys, remember, hit that like button. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Hit the like button and hit the subscribe. So the round is so Toto. What you doing, bro? What you been up to? I know your channel's doing good, yeah. You got your thing later on, innit?
My stream, yeah.
Yeah. So what you say, man?
I mean,
are you getting lots of views and that on your stream?
Yeah, it's going well. To be honest, not so much on my YouTube, my TikTok's going well. I know that a lot of people come in, the regulars as well on TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm trying to transfer them over to YouTube. But all of them mostly stay on TikTok. I also stream on Twitch as well. So again, I'm starting to stream on Twitch a lot more to get my Twitch following up. So that's it really for me recently. But I think going back onto the video, regarding Liverpool, I think we should put all our eggs. Of course, we need to win the FA Cup as well. We need a trophy this season. We can't finish this season with the team we've got without a trophy.
That'd be a complete and not a disaster.
That'd be a fail. I think we have a better chance of winning the Champions League. I don't know what it is. We do much better in the Champions League, and I think, of course, football's not decided on paper and all that, but I think I have a strong feeling that we could reach the finals. Liverpool, I think we're getting better now. The team's getting better, and I thought, if you think and you compare our form to the Champions League, to the Premier League, our Champions League form's a lot better. And naturally, the Champions League, the pace is a lot slower. So it allows us to allows us to have space and time. I think that will very, very benefit Vert, for example, our wingers. It will really, really benefit them to have that space and time, because I remember at the beginning of the season, early stage of the season, where we're doing well in the Champions League. Verts is very, very good in the Champions League. When it comes to the league, is a bit outnumbered a bit. Yeah. Of course, it's different now. Verts is much better in the league, and he's there now. He's getting used to it, and you can even say he's gotten used to it because of his good performances he's been putting in, week out. But you can see that more slower paced football kind of helps us.
Yeah. Especially with Verts.
Yeah, and it's different to the Premier League, because in Champions Leagues, in cup competitions, people don't really, especially the Champions League, people don't really play low block in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And we had the excuse from Slot and all that about low blocks and stuff like that, even though I think we can break them down. We've got the players for that. We just got that excuse, we lost because maybe we struggled to break down low blocks. But I think in the Champions League, there's less of that. It's like that last game we went against Quarabag, smashed them up. But you'll be thinking, if you're the Quarabag manager, you logically be thinking, right, we're going to be low blocking this to try do damage limitation. But again, they didn't do that. They went at us. They went at us. We went at them. Of course, they lost that battle because the quality we've got is much. It's completely different, different quality. But you can see that the Champions League, you don't see rarely any people sit back unless you're someone like Atletico Madrid. An example was Simeone. He loves to play that low block and counter-attacking football. So we could either face.
No, I'm gonna bring. Wait, no, we'll get into that in a minute. I'm just doing this. I'm just doing all the tagging. Go on.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. So basically, something like I said, Atletico Madrid. There's really a handful. Not maybe a handful. Maybe only a small handful of teams. That actually play that low block.
Let's get this to start talking about it
in the Champions League. So
let's talk about this. There we go. This is the first one we're looking at. round of 16. So I don't know why it's got it twice. Stupid idiot. That's me. What have I got it twice for? So yeah, it's Barcelona and Chelsea. So it's Paris Saint-Germain. So it's PSG, yeah. And they will face either Barcelona, yeah, or Chelsea. So when that gets announced officially tomorrow, PSG will play Barcelona or Chelsea. So there's 3 big heavyweights there in the European football, right there. PSG versus Barcelona or Chelsea. There you go. That's what's going to be the round of 16 one. Paris Saint-Germain. Now, that's how it can look at. It can look at that way. It could be PSG versus Barcelona and Chelsea. And then I know you're probably thinking, well, that's 3 teams. What's going on? What happens to the other team? I'm going to tell you what happens to the other team in a minute. So it's PSG at the moment. That's the first one that's coming up, the round of 16. PSG versus Barcelona or Chelsea. What are you saying? I know this is where it gets complicated. I know.
It's I mean, it's 3 big teams there.
Yeah. This is the round of 16 one.
I think in a way, it's good to get some of the big teams out of there quick in the early rounds. But what can I say? It's Barcelona or Chelsea. There's 2 big teams there, and anything can happen. Barcelona's in. Are they in decent form, Barcelona?
They've been up and down lately in the league form. I think they're still on top of the La Liga. But to be fair, Barcelona and Real Madrid have kind of the last 4 weeks, last month, they've been up and down. You know, the form.
Chelsea's been up and down as well.
Yeah,
they've been drawing games, winning, drawing. They haven't really lost. But
they'll probably get rid of the thingy soon. The guy out of IT crowd. I call him the guy out of the IT crowd. The IT crowd. I don't know if you remember that. The IT crowd, the comedy on Channel 4, and the manager literally looks exactly the same as him. The guy out of the IT crowd. If you're from the UK, you know what we're talking about.
You never know with Chelsea. Yeah, they get rid of all the managers. If they have a little downfall, they say, "Oh, we'll get rid of him." You know, that's what Chelsea is, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've had many manager bounces and many managers coming to the club, and always don't really get enough time. You know, they lose a bit, they draw a bit, boom, you're gone. You know.
I'll just make it easier.
Barcelona, Chelsea. It's the winners out of Barcelona versus Chelsea.
Everybody say it's going to be. Make it easier.
So it's Barcelona versus Chelsea.
So basically, this is how it's going to be. You see how it's got Barcelona or Chelsea is going to play Paris Saint-Germain. And then that's the round of 16-1. If we look at the round of 16-5, it's got Chelsea or Barcelona versus Newcastle. You get me?
Yeah.
So it's like that. So basically, the round of 16-1 is going to be part. So when it goes down to the actual game when they play, it said it says the winners of round 16-1, which is that. So the winners of round 16-1 will play the round of 16-2, which is that. So winners of these are going to play that. So there you go. So we're going to get PSG.
Yeah, it makes sense.
We're going to get PSG again.
How are we going to get PSG?
Because who is the round of 16-2? Look, the round of 16-1 of it says there the quarterfinals. The round of 16-1 plays the winners of round 16-2. Who's in round 16-2? We are. So we're going to get PSG again. But it depends on who's going to get out of these 2. So we don't know. Barcelona. I think Barcelona's going to beat PSG, by the way. So PSG could get knocked out. You get me? I think Barcelona, really, that should have been the semi-final last year. Remember when Inter Milan knocked out Barcelona, that old ass defender scored. You remember?
Yeah.
He'll never do that again in his life. Remember? That robbed us off of the final of Barcelona PSG final. I think so. What do you think of that, draw? That's what we're looking at the moment. That's what we're looking at there. That's who's left there. Clever Man City getting them clever.
Yeah.
But look at Bayern Munich will get beat by Arsenal, I think.
Of course, if you want to, I was saying, if you want to be the best, you got to beat your best, don't you? And there's 3.
Retire the best.
There's 3.
Social security.
There's 3 big teams there. There's 3 big teams there, and we've got to get through one of them. It's not a guarantee PSG will get through. It's not guaranteed Barcelona will get through.
It don't matter. Whoever gets through is going to be one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's going to be hard either way. If I was going
I'd
to,
rather, you know what? I'd rather play Barcelona.
that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
I'd rather play I know Barcelona. Barcelona for me would beat PSG, but that's them. That's them in it. But for me, as a Liverpool fan, right, I would rather play Barcelona just because what happened last season. And I think last season our team was better, by the way, than now. You know, last season I think our team was better. So I would rather face Barcelona than PSG.
Yes, I would face Barcelona. I would rather the second leg at Anfield because I always like the second leg.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
At Anfield. Because no, it's always good to end off that way at Anfield. Because you got your first leg, yeah, but the second leg is where it counts, doesn't it? It's where it gets decided whether you go through or not. So I'd rather have my second leg at Anfield, but we're just going to see how the draw plays out. Hopefully, we don't play Atletico Madrid. I want to play Galatasaray. I want to play Galatasaray, but
where's it say we're going to get Atletico Madrid?
Round of 16-6.
So round of oh yeah, okay then. So
no, it depends what round of 16 we're in. If we're If we're in the second one, then we're going to face either PSG or.
So we're not going to know till tomorrow, but they're in our pool, isn't it? It's confusing, man.
Scroll down a bit. If you go to round of 16,
why don't I just go back the way it was before?
So the winners are round of 16-6, and who's in round of 16-5?
Yeah. So it says quarterfinal 1, round of 16-1, round of 16-2, and it says quarterfinals 2, round of 16-3, round of 16-4.
Yeah, but who's in round of 16-5?
Round of 16-5 is Newcastle, Chelsea, or Barcelona. You see me being confused?
We're gonna be facing either Chelsea or Barcelona.
Nah, we're gonna. It's gonna be Galatasaray. People are saying it's gonna be Galatasaray or Atletico Madrid. That's what people are saying. So I don't know how that's working out.
It can't be. It's either.
So where are people getting that from? It's going to be Galatasaray.
Liverpool versus Galatasaray, Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, round of 16-6. So are they all the possibility matches as of it? Are they the possibility?
They're in the pool.
Yeah, so we're either going to get so how it's going to go is we're either going to get Galatasaray or Atletico Madrid.
Yeah,
that's how it's going to be.
Yeah,
that's
so we're either going to be around the 16-2 or 6.
So if we win that one, yeah, who we don't know who we can't look at other teams and who we're gonna play because you never know. Barcelona might go out, you know, they might go out in the next round. You never know, or PSG might suddenly just turn into prime PSG like there was last season.
Yeah,
because they've been struggling in the Champions League just like they were struggling last season. They were struggling last season. PSG was, and when and they just scraped the knockout stages. They went through the knockout stages and they just scraped it. And as soon as they got to the knockout stages, boom, they turned it on. They started with us, dispatched of Liverpool. They killed us in the first game. Even though we won the game with smash and grab, they outplayed us in the first game, outplayed us. Second game, it was more, I think we was more even. In the second game, they didn't score good against us. They had to beat us by penalties. But what was suspicious for me of that game is when Slot knew that we was going to get penalties and he took all our best penalty takers off.
Yeah.
That's when I started to think, what? He took off Szoboszlai, he took off Salah, he took off who else did he take off? Another good penalty taker.
McAllister.
He took off McAllister, he took off all our best penalty takers.
Well, yeah, there's stuff like that when you think back, it's just like
it makes you think then, doesn't it?
Makes you think if we would have won that game, we could have probably went on one because that was the most embarrassing final ever against PSG and Inter. Probably in Champions League history, the most embarrassing final.
Yeah.
Inter didn't even put up a fight. You know, it was just PSG having fun with it. You know? Yeah, that was the worst final. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Hopefully we're in the final. That's what I want to see. But I think out of everyone, we've got the hardest if we get through the round of 16, we've got the hardest draw.
I don't know about that. It depends how the other teams go.
Because we're either going to be facing Chelsea, Barcelona, or PSG. We're either going to be facing.
Let's face it, look at it here, pal. Let's say Chelsea goes out, it's either going to be PSG or Barcelona. Is that how it's going to work out?
Yeah, basically. That's how it's going to work out.
So if you look at it, he goes, it's going to be Tottenham or Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, It's either going to be, we're going to run into Barcelona or PSG. I would rather run into Barcelona,
Yeah,
even though to me Barcelona's a better team, right? That's debatable, but I think Barcelona's better. But after last season, I would rather play Barcelona. Or maybe Slot is probably praying that he gets PSG for that payback from last season. Because some managers are like that,
yeah. Look, I don't look. PSG is probably the least option I want to go for, the least, because I reckon we can do well against them, but it's just like I would rather go for on paper much easier. Maybe someone like a Barcelona who's in up and down form. But again, it's football, man. Anything goes at the end of the day. I just don't want to get. I'd rather have Galatasaray for the round of 16. I'd rather have Galatasaray for the round of 16. But
You
yeah,
reckon Bobo would beat Man City if Man City was a plate drawer?
apparently Bodo's a really good side. So
They are. I told you I call them the Norwegian Giants.
Again,
They
anything can happen
embarrassed
there.
Inter Milan. They embarrassed them.
And they're at home first as well. So
Yeah.
again, I'd rather it second, but they're at home first to see what they can do. Mr. Heath, I would rather Newcastle play Barcelona over Chelsea.
Because Newcastle, with Newcastle and Chelsea, they're both Prem teams, ain't it?
Yeah.
So you want the Prem teams out, and I don't want to run into a Premier League team. That I hate that. In the Champions League, if you have to play a Prem team, I hate it.
A Premier League game, isn't it?
I hate it. I don't wanna. I want to play a foreign. I want to play like a Spanish, Italian team because I know we got a better chance. If we play someone like Newcastle, for any given day, Newcastle could just turn up to Anfield or turn up to St James's Park and just turn it on like that. You get me?
Yeah.
And they go for, you know what, Champions League, it's like a Prem, let's just go for it, you get me? And I don't want that. I would rather play Real Madrid than Newcastle. People are going to feel, what? You mad? Yeah, I would. I would rather play Real Madrid than Newcastle. Because with the Prem team, they will try extra harder. They know how we play. You get me? They're in the Prem.
Yeah, I would like a foreign side. So
yeah, of course.
It's more slower, which benefits us.
Yeah.
I think we've got a much better quality team now, and our team as a whole is getting better. And we've had some decent form in the Champions League, but I don't want to go by that again because last season we finished top of the Champions League, and we ended up going out in the was it the semis? Semis we ended up.
No, we went out in the this time now. The round of 16.
Yeah, we went out
knocked out by PSG.
We went out in the round of 16. So I don't want to say, since we're in good form in the Champions League, that automatically gives we can do well in the round. No, anything can happen at the end of the day. Of course, there's a point predicting it. We can predict it. We can say our views on it, but anything can happen in football. Again, it's more preferably you don't want a Prem side, but more of a foreign side and slow tempo. But again, they could take it to us as well. But I would rather Galatasaray because Atletico Madrid is more of a low block side.
Yeah, that I don't want Atletico Madrid. I think that could be a danger team for us.
And our history in the league, we couldn't really break it down. But I'm sure against Brighton in the FA Cup, when they were playing low block, I know Brighton's not on the level, the Champions League level, but that's still a low block in it. And the way we moved the ball around quick, we had a fast tempo to us. That fast tempo play, a style of play, we broke it down because that's how you break it down. You got to move it quick, and we got the players for that for the link up play. But again, Atletico Madrid are much better.
I think we'd do better with. I don't want to play at Atletico Madrid. I think that's a bogey side for us. I do.
Yeah.
They're a low block. Simeone's a manager, and Italy Simeone, the master of the low block. Yeah, I think him and Sean Dice, the master of the low block, and Emran, ex-Forest manager. They're all low block teams. Atletico Madrid is a low block team, and I don't want them because we know what Slapflight he doesn't do too well with a low block team. Well, yeah. Big up to Mr. Heath as well. The UK sides have played better in Europe than the Premiership, and vice versa for the big European team. Their Champions League games have been very mid. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, this is why I don't want to. This is why I don't want a Prem team. But you remember last season, Heath. You remember last season when we got into the round of 16, we qualified on top of the table, and then we played PSG. PSG didn't automatically qualify. They had to play the extra games. Remember that they just scraped through. So when we had PSG, we were supposed. Everybody thought that we was going to win because they said PSG wasn't that good in the Champions League and the lead up, and they just scraped through. And we got PSG, and all of a sudden PSG just turned into a mad one. You get me?
Yeah.
Nobody expected the performance what PSG gave against us, and then I went on to bet more games. They went on to win the tournament in the end, but nobody expected for them to score us, especially in the first leg. I don't think they scored us in the second leg, but in the first leg they scored us, man, and nobody expected it because of the evidence how there was in the group stages. They were crap in the group stages, and they didn't, like I said, they didn't qualify automatically. They had to play them extra games. And so when it comes to the knockout stage in the Champions Leagues, these big teams like Real Madrid, PSG, Barcelona, they all just it's like a switch, in it. It's like a switch. The switch just switches on and boom, they just kick in. They're crap in the group stage, but when they get through, boom, they just switch.
True. You know, we can't really say because we're good form in league form.
I'm not underestimating anyone.
Exactly. Yeah. They're there for a reason. End of the day. PSG did slog through last year.
They just barely got through to the knockout.
They were unexpected, you know.
Yeah.
Doing nearly elimination, you know, in the league stage, and then getting through for the playoffs, then going through all the round of 16, quarter semi-finals, and going on and winning it in the most embarrassing final ever. But again, they still went on and won it. They beat some good teams. PSG did. You got to give them props. They beat some good teams. They got through the playoffs. They were underestimated, then they went on and done it. So if in Sporting Lisbon, Sporting could go and win the Champions League, you don't flipping know. You don't know. They could reach the finals. You know, it's football. I always say football is unpredictable. It's like you can't bet on football matches. Anything can happen. You know, you can't say, "All right, this player's going to score." This player could have an absolute crap performance and not score. You know, something like something like that. But hopefully we can do well. It's
unpredictable.
It's a good look. We're on good form. We're on good form at the moment. We've got a good team.
Come on, man. Yeah.
Decent form in the Premier League. So
some music, man. It's too
hopefully we can do well and get through, because UK teams at the moment are doing absolutely amazing. You know, we see the top 8. And we're doing very, very well for it. So let's see what happens in Liverpool tomorrow. Excited for the draw tomorrow. Let's see who we get. Hopefully we get I want if we get a letter from the best, going to be a great. Both games are going to be tough games. Yeah.
1 second.
I would want for Liverpool for me. I know they've got a hostile crowd. Galatasaray, you know what the fans are like. They're very, very hostile. But I think we can take them. And I think we're going their way, as it looks like. Our first, of course, our first game will be away in Atletico Madrid or Galatasaray, because Atletico Madrid will be at home and Galatasaray will be at home. So second leg will be at Anfield. We kind of got that home advantage at the second leg, which I preferably like. If I was gonna make a prediction, I think we can get Galatasaray, and I want Galatasaray, so I'm going to predict Galatasaray, but I've still got this small feeling we're going to get Atletico Madrid. I don't want Atletico Madrid. I think it's going to be one of them sides where it's going to be one of them sides where we struggle a lot, and it's more of a Atletico Madrid's more counter-attacking. But people in here, hit the likes, hit the subscribe button. And again, get your thoughts in the chat and your predictions for the draw. Of course, you can't really predict the draw, but you can say your thoughts on what you think might happen. So that's what I've got to say. Really, for Liverpool, of course, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough getting through these round of 16s. It's gonna be very, very tough. We're gonna go against some really big sides, either Chelsea, Barcelona, maybe Newcastle, maybe PSG. So I think as it stands, we've got a harder draw there, but we've just got to get through it at the end of the day. In a way, it's good because if you beat the big teams, if you get the big teams out of there quick, so I think it might be better in the long run. But look, it's Champions League. They're there for a reason. Every single one of those teams there can do well. That's what we've got to look at the moment.
Yeah, I totally agree. Toto. Yeah, we're just gonna see what happens, see how it plays out in the Champions League. There's no guarantees who we're gonna get really. I think, like I told you at the I think what I said at the beginning of the video. I said that any of these teams can win it. The only team who probably ain't gonna win it realistically is probably Spurs. I still think Bodo's got a chance. The Norwegian Giants. Anything can happen. It's happened before. Teams have come through. Nobody thought they was going to win it, and they won it. It's happened before in the Champions League, and you never know. Bodo's got the momentum behind them. They beat Inter Milan convincingly in both legs, and deservedly got through. Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich. Newcastle, man. We know how they are. Eddie. At Atlanta, very good team in my opinion. They could be a dark horse. They could be to get through to the semis. At Atlanta, very good team they are. Arsenal, people saying that Arsenal the favourites. It is what it is. I don't want to be the favourites, being a Liverpool fan. I don't want to be the favourites. I don't want to be even second favourites. I want to be the fourth favourites or fifth favourites or not even nowhere near the top. That's how I like it. I don't, because once you get touted as the favourites, then the pressure's on it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what any Arsenal fan will tell you. It don't matter what Arsenal's saying. I don't care what Arteta says. He can come out in every media outlet he wants and say the pressure's not on us. We're just going to keep playing from game to game to game. But the pressure is on Arsenal more than any other team because they have never won the Champions League. Never. Chelsea's won it. Barcelona's won it. Bayern Munich's won it. PSG's won it. Liverpool's won it. Man City's won it. Most teams in that draw has won the Champions League. More than half. But Arsenal's never won the Champions League. So the pressure will be on Arsenal. Liverpool's got nothing to lose. You know, Liverpool, we got nothing to lose. You know that, innit? Yeah. We're one of them teams that we ain't got nothing to lose because we're nowhere near the favourites. I know that for a fact. Again, that's how I like it. Don't talk about my club. Talk about Arsenal. We'll stay over there and Arsenal can stay over there. And that's it. That's how I like it. And we're just going to take one game at a time. And I think, Arne Slot, yeah. I reckon he has dreams about playing PSG after that game last season. You get me? I think if you ask Arne Slot, what will be your preferred game if you get through to the quarterfinals, yeah? You know he's going to say PSG, innit? You know he's going to say PSG.
Yeah.
Just because of what happened last season. But it is what it is, and it is what it is. So that's the round of 16 of the Champions League, the possibilities who we're going to play. And yeah, man, we got people watching us. We got 6 people watching us. Can you remember, guys? Hit that like button. We're going to be heading off in a minute. Let me just bring up a couple of news. What's coming up on my feed. There's rumours. This is not facts. There's rumours going around that Kylian Mbappe is injured. And it's saying
he's injured.
So He's injured. Kylian Mbappe. He's saying if Mbappe is not 100% the whole tie shifts Real Madrid without him, he's a very weak Madrid. It's vulnerable. I don't know. What do you think, Toto? Without Real Madrid, does that? I know it weakens them, but do you reckon it completely will it weakens them half? Would you say half of the chances?
I think they'll lose their gun, man.
They've still got good players, though.
They have got good play, but they'll lose their gun, man. Their striker, you know, he scores most of the goals. He's had a brilliant goal record for this season, Kylian Mbappe. I don't know the exact numbers, but he's had a high goal scoring record, so they will be missing him.
He wouldn't do that in the Prem.
Yeah, of course, in the Prem.
He wouldn't do that in the Prem.
The defense is much better in the Prem.
He'd get injured more as well.
Yeah. But look, it will be a big loss for them, but I don't think it'll completely weaken them. They've got a strong midfield. They've got a decent defense. You know, they've got good wingers. Vinny Jr. getting back into form recently. Rodrigo in there as well. You got some decent wingers in there. But of course, they'll be losing their talisman. Not a talisman, their gunman.
So who would they play up front then if he's not there? Vinny Jr. They couldn't he play that striker role?
He can, but on the other hand, they'll be losing their winger.
But they got Rodrigo.
I've got Rodrigo, yeah.
So who else they got? Who's there? Who's because I don't really follow Madrid that much.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Let me just speak to the chat. Can hold your head up if you go into win it and say you beat the big names on the way and didn't get an easy path.
Yeah, because we've got a hard path we have.
Nah, I'd rather an easy path. I'd rather easy path. I know what you're saying. Course, yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah, but me, I'd rather an easy path.
A win's a win. Well, win's a win. Win's a win at the end of the day. Right.
Yeah. So I know what you're saying though.
Look, we have got a harder. We have got a harder path.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
That's just the way it is.
Arsenal are under lots of pressure. Man City chasing them down in the league, Champions League, and has a strong last 16. They have. Arsenal you think Arsenal's got a strong last 16 though? FA Cup is still on them, but they need to bring a bigger title. Yeah. Let's have a look at that again, where Arsenal is. They got at Atlanta will play Arsenal or Bayern Munich. I think Arsenal will beat Bayern Munich. They've done it last season as well. And I think Arsenal team now is better than last season. I'm not sure if Bayern Munich's team is better than last season's. You get me? I think Arsenal will beat Bayern Munich. I do. At Atlanta, they might struggle though. They might struggle.
Atlanta had a great game. I'm
telling you, they're a dark horse, you know.
Back from 3-1 in aggregate. They came back.
Yeah, they're a dark horse, you know.
Yeah.
People are not talking about them just like they didn't talk about PSG last season. I'm telling you now, yeah, at Atlanta is a dark horse. At least to get into the semis, maybe. They're a dark horse.
They are.
Oh, and then so who's Real Madrid's front three at the moment? Who do they usually use for the front three? So they could have Vinny Jr. could probably drop into that 9 role. They got Rodrigo, he can play both sides. Then they got another winger that they can put in there. Real Madrid.
Rodrigo.
Yeah, I already said him. He can play on both sides. But so you got Vinny Jr. There we go.
So their lineup for last game against Benfica, it was Vinny Jr. on the left.
Yeah.
Garcia, I ain't got a clue he is in striker.
Yeah.
Ada Guller on left wing. I've heard of him. Camavinga, Tukanami, Valverde.
Yeah. They've got enough players.
Trent, Rudiger.
Trent played, did he? No way, Trent got a game.
Yeah, he got a game.
Trent got a game, man.
Jude must be injured because he's not on there. But yeah, that was the lineup for them. So
yeah, but they'll be fine.
They got Vinny Jr. and Ada Guller, who are both good players.
It's Madrid, man. You know what it's like when it comes to the Champions League knockout stages. They could have a pub team and they'd still get through. You know what they're like.
Yeah.
There's something about that team when it gets to the Champions. They're like us, isn't it?
In the Champions League, got that heritage in it. Got that heritage.
So let's talk about more news that's coming through. Though. Victor Osimhen. You remember Victor Osimhen? You remember how popular he was in Europe? Victor Osimhen value has doubled since the 27-year-old Nigerian striker. 75 million euro transfer for Napoli to Galatasaray. According to the Super League leaders vice president, they reckon his price is now 150 million. So you know what they can do with that? They can take that up. They can take that and use that as wallpaper. I was going to say something else. I'm not going to say it at the stream. I said wallpaper instead. Do you think Victor Osimhen is worth 150 million at a 27-year-old? You know what I can say? No. That's just my opinion.
No one's worth that. No one's worth that in my
And
opinion.
he's 27. Let it go, bro.
I mean, he's a quality striker. He's a very, very quality striker. Osimhen is his experience and he's very, very quality. You know, maybe can be a bit underappreciated as much, you know, online and that.
Yeah.
He was linked to us. There was a lot of teams linked to him in the Premier League and he didn't come. Maybe I don't want to move to the Premier League, I don't know. But he's a great striker, Victor Osimhen is. And if we do get Galatasaray, might be a problem for us, but we got good defenders. So I'm worried a tiny bit because he can score, you know. But we've got good defenders. So if we do get Galatasaray, he might be a problem for us, but we've got good defense to sort him out. So I don't think no one's worth that money anyway. No player's worth that money.
Really, bro? No, yeah, no. 150. Nah, but he's 27. And he's not worth that.
He's so young.
He's not worth but he's 20. Yeah, but he's not worth 150 million, not for 27-year-old. I know it's not young, but it's not old either. I know it's not old, but it's not young either.
Yeah, I just think
prime years, but you know, 27.
These players are a bit overpriced, man. Don't know. That's in my opinion. You know, it's just like there's so many players, 150 million. Like no one's worth that. No football player's worth that, man.
Yeah, but the price
But
is
again,
go up, isn't it?
As
Euros though,
as the years in football go on, players, just the way it is, players will get more expensive the years go on.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Even young players might be worth about 50 million, maybe 5 years time.
He's worth no more than that 60 million for me, or 70.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, players are going to get more experience as the seasons go on.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
So for Mr. Heath again, heard a cracker yesterday. Saka is worth 134 million. All right.
No, he's not.
Who by? Arsenal fans. That'll be Arsenal fans, isn't it?
Yeah, got it.
Has to be Arsenal fans.
Most delusional fans in the Premier League.
Yeah. So let's talk about one more. We've got another cracker here, bro. Another cracker. Honest lot, I know that we have spent a lot of money because there's people talking about the money he spent with his team, but no more than other teams. Look how much money Man City's got. Look how much Man City spends all this money, right? Man United spend all this money. Chelsea literally sell the women's team and then buy it back again, yeah? Right? That's dodgy for starters. All these people, they spend all this money. We spend a bit of money one season. And if you think about it, people said, oh, you spent over 400. We sold a lot, okay? We sold a lot. Don't know what happened there. We sold a lot. That's what people don't realize. We sold a lot of players. We didn't keep the players and then brought more players. We sold a lot of players and then we used some of that money to buy players. So if we look at it overall, we didn't spend 400 million. We spent about 200 million, right? We spent about 200 million. Can you hear me, Toto?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we spent about 200 million, not 400 million if you do your maths, right? People are saying that we spent 450 million euros. No, we never. Because if you look at our team and you look at the players that we sold, like Diaz, Nunes, Kwanzaa, you know, the goalkeeper Kelleher.
Sold to buy.
Yeah, we only spent about 200 million. So there you go. So it says on here, people was talking to Arnie Slot. They were saying how much money you spent. He said, Arnie Slot said, I know that we have spent a lot of money in the summer, but it looks like nobody is able to understand that every other Premier League club was adding players to their squad exactly while we were replacing players in our squad. Exactly what I just said. So we weren't just like kept the team and brought players. We had to sell some to buy some. So we only spent about 200 million, not 450.
Because you know what FSG's like, they don't really give us a big transfer budget. It's same with Klopp as well. Klopp worked with the players that he had, and that's what I like about Klopp. But again, can you call Slot a checkbook? You can't really call him a checkbook because he won the league.
I think he's a checkbook though. Pep is.
Pep is.
I'm not saying he's not a good manager, but he's a checkbook manager. He goes where the check.
He is. When he came
Go
to
to
City,
go and manage Blackpool.
it's
See what
like
happens.
it's like when he came to City, he was like, right, here's the money. Do what you want with it.
That's
Buy
why I
your
think
players.
Jurgen Klopp's a better manager, and I don't care what anyone
I
says.
think he's better managing like a manager, like a man-to-man manager with
Jurgen
the
Klopp is
players.
a better manager than Pep Guardiola, and I don't
He's
care.
better, in my opinion.
Jurgen Klopp is definitely better. He could get something. He could get a player from Blackpool and turn him into a player like for Barcelona.
It's not regarding like Slot for an example, yeah. And people just like to cuss Liverpool. You're gonna buy the league. You're gonna buy the league. Didn't even start, you know. Other teams are buying, like Slot just mentioned there. So
Yeah.
other teams are buying as well. And we were buying just because we want to buy and have our record transfer fee in the season. So people like Chelsea, for an example, spending so much money on a checkbook, money every single time on players. What did it win? And when they've spent so much money on players, nothing. You know why? Because when you bring, I always say this: when you bring so many players out that had that chemistry with each other,
Yeah.
and bringing in so many new players, it takes time. That's how football works.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. You know, it's not like you go on FIFA, you buy someone, boom, you buy a 90+ rated player, they cut for you on your first game. Of course, that's a video game. Football Manager, it's a video game. All, you know, something like that. But in real life, it takes time for players, you know, surroundings, settling with the team, training and all that. That is all involved with a player. It's like with Florian Wirtz. No one gave Florian Wirtz chances. No one gave Florian Wirtz a chance. They'll say, oh, he's a flop, he's a flop. After two games, oh, he's a flop, he's a flop, he's a flop. And now they're giving him his respect. I don't want it now, man. I wanted to hear before, all right, give the kid time. And I look at him now, he's doing absolutely amazing. Kirk, for example, you know, doing better. They're improving as players.
That thing what I was talking about, Arnie, that's only just come through, by the way. It's just brand new, come out because everyone's reporting it now. So let's continue what he said. He goes, Alexander Isak has never been fit so far. Giovanni Leone has been ruled out at the beginning of the season. Frimpanga has only had impact in 5 or 6 games, been injured twice. We brought in a second goalkeeper for 35 million, Mohamed Ashrili, who has barely played. So we haven't really used 250. This is quote from Arne Slot. So we haven't used 250 million of our 450 million that we spent. This is exactly what I just said. I hate when people stop talking and stop saying that we spent 450 million. We spent 200 million, just over 200 million, because we sold players to get players. You only spend 450 million if you just keep all your players and then you go and spend. See what we just brought you over the summer. If we didn't sell any players and we went out and brought all them players that we just got, Toto, yeah, that's 450 million. But we sold players. We sold Diaz. How much we went for? 70 million to Bayern Munich. We sold Diaz. We sold Nunes. All the players, we sold players, you know. We sold players. We didn't just like keep the team and then go and brought more players. We had to sell. This is why we left ourselves short, but it is what it is, isn't it? So we said we haven't. Yeah. So no, I'm just going to finish it now. So we haven't used 250 million of our 450 million we have spent, while our rivals spent. See, our rivals spent 200 million to 300 million to 400 million in adding players, not taking away. Do you get me? So all these teams that were like Arsenal, they didn't take no one really away. They brought money, they brought players. Look at what Pep spent in January alone. He didn't take away no players. He added and added. And basically what he's saying is, I think what Arne Slot's saying now, when he's saying this, he's probably thinking, you know what? If it was me, I would have kept the players, innit? But obviously he knows, you know, FSG, they don't roll that way, innit?
Yeah.
FSG don't roll that way. This is why when people say, oh, it's Slot. Why did he let Diaz go? If you had Slot at the end of last season, do you want to just randomly sell Diaz? I'm sure Arne Slot would have said no. You get me? If Arne Slot had it his way, he would have kept Diaz. You get me? Come on. He would have kept Diaz. He would. I reckon he probably would have kept Nunes as well. You know, as a backup. I don't think he would have let Diaz go though, and I don't think he would have let Kelleher go. That was the upper hierarchy. That was like Edwards and all that, innit? That's what they done. I think he wanted to keep Diaz. You know, Arne Slot. I reckon if he would have gave him option and said, look, we're going to bring in someone else, but we want to keep Diaz? And I think he would have kept Diaz. That's just my opinion, Toto.
Yeah, Diaz was in great form. Luis Diaz was, and you know with his history with our owners. Owners don't really give us players, and I think we said this before on the channel. We have to sell to buy. That's just the way it is. It's not like our owners gave us flipping 400 million out of the blue.
No.
All of us was given foot. No, it's not.
We had to sell.
That way. That we had to sell to buy players.
Exactly.
No, that's just the way it is. We sold Diaz. We didn't really get a replacement for him.
No.
Again, all that money adds up, and we still got to replace Diaz. So we still got some money left over.
Have we?
To be fair, we did spend a lot on players.
We'll see what happens. We'll
We've got to see what happens with this Luis Diaz thing, because we still haven't replaced him. We still haven't replaced Luis Diaz.
I was fuming.
Maybe we've got some left over, maybe not. We just got to see. But we did sell to buy, so people are missing out on. We sold to buy.
This is what I'm saying. Any other club?
We got this money out of nowhere.
Yeah, sorry. Any other club would have kept Diaz. Any other club. I didn't care if Diaz went and listen. I'm not gonna be fake. I don't care who. If Diaz wants to go, let him go. And if he wanted to go, I know we did want to go, but I think we could have held it on to him. But my gripe was, if he let Diaz go, yeah, buy a replacement. But because they saw Gakpo and they saw Rio and Gamoa, they said, you know what, we can save a bit of money there. We don't really need to buy a winger in it. We'll just keep with them two. And what happened in the end? They didn't even play Gamoa, did they? Played him in 2 games.
No. Yeah. So a lot of people say a lot online, that we got a winger there. But again, look, Slot is that kind of manager, and we've seen him say it in the press conference that he likes to protect the young players and not put him out in the spotlight straight away. So maybe Klopp would have done it. Maybe Klopp would have done it, but Klopp is a generational manager. I always say this: Klopp is a once in a generation manager. He got young players, he developed them into great players. Not many managers can do that, but Klopp did it. Maybe if Klopp was still a manager, he would go with Engamo, but Klopp is not there anymore. We keep talking about Klopp and all that. Klopp is not here anymore. Only Slot's in. He don't like putting them young players out in the spotlight. That's just the way he is. Don't get me wrong. Engamo would like more minutes, but that's the manager's decision. At the end of the day. We can't just keep having Klopp in our head saying, Klopp would have done this. He probably would have. He probably would have done that, but he's not there anymore. That's a sad reality. Klopp is not there anymore, and Slot's there at the moment. Of course, there's a mixed fan basis, ins and outs. But that's their opinions. But regarding like young players like Engamoa, we got Engamoa, it's fine. Yeah, but Slot won't play Engamoa. He won't start in games. Maybe he will in the future, but not now. That's just the way it is.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to say. When people used to blame, what Slot didn't want Diaz. Where does it say that? Where did it say that Slot doesn't want Diaz? Where? Yeah. People said they didn't replace Diaz, and that was done by design. Come to think, man, looking back at it now, it was done by design. You know why they didn't replace him? Because they probably didn't want to spend it. They didn't want to spend it. They didn't want to spend no more than 230 million euros. And that's what they did. They didn't spend 450 million. They've done that. That's what it looks like. If you look at it, oh yeah, you spent 450 million. No, we never. We took players away and added. And while we did that, we left ourselves short. So we ended up spending, really, if we look at it, north of 230 million euros. That's what we spent in the summer, not 450. We would have spent 450 if we wouldn't have sold no players. It's because we sold the players, we only spent 230 million euros. That's it. That's the reality. That's mathematics. That is fact. So I think if they would have said to Slot, who do you want to keep? I don't think he would have got rid of Diaz. And if he did, he would have replaced him. And that's it. And that's just the reality of the situation. So let's do a few more before we head off, because I've got a Formula 1 video to do. I've got to do a quick one. Although I'm still bitter about Isak leaving us. I didn't know he was a Newcastle fan. I forgot. I really wanted him to do better at Liverpool. Still time, bro. Still time. Barca, Chelsea. That's what you reckon they're going to play, Barca, Chelsea. We've got 11 watching, guys. We've got 12 people watching, guys. Remember to hit that like button. Thanks for joining us in this afternoon, this evening. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, big up.
We do appreciate you guys. Really, really appreciate you guys coming along, showing your support. And all we ask is one thing. All we ask is to like the video. That's all we do. Like the video. It is free, and also subscribe as well. Just a couple of videos I need to. This is to the Arsenal fans.
Arne Slot is my daddy. He spanks me every time I manage against him. He literally picked me up, put me upside down, and spanked me. No Diddy. And with this loss, I am well on my way to my goal of finishing second once again this season. Second place Netflix FC is back on the menu, Arsenal fan.
There you go. So that's my message to the Arsenal fans. So Toto, you got anything coming up, or you want to? We've got 13 people in the house, you know.
Yeah. Again, we're going live after. We're going live for Formula One. And of course I'm going live at 6 o'clock as well. For my live 6 o'clock every day apart from Sundays. So Monday to Saturday at 6 o'clock most of the time. So you can go check me out on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. And if you want to find my socials, they're in the description below. So click on the description below, scroll down to the bottom until you see Toto Hammer socials, and just click whatever and go follow my socials.
There you go. Go and follow these socials, man. Remember, guys, this is me and Toto's Hammer. This is the main channel. This is the main channel of our channel. Keep It Sports. This is the main channel. But Toto is a racer. He's a go-karter. He does racing. We're actually doing an F1 video in a minute. We're going to be talking about the new rules and the regulations. That's coming up directly after this. So if you like Formula One, please join us. We're going to leave the link. Maybe just subscribe, and as soon as we go live, you'll know anyway, innit? So yeah. So he's got his own separate channel. It's called Toto Hammer Motorsports. He does all motorsport stuff on there. This will actually, when we go live, we're gonna be streaming from his channel as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. So big up to everyone, man. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. It's clear to do the chat room. There you go. I said like the video. There you go. It's me in the chat. Like the video. Thanks. There you go. Like the video, man. Big up. So yeah, the Champions League draw. Yeah, AI. Yeah. AI is a savage. Yeah, big up. Yeah. Yeah. AI. AI is taking over, bro. You know, AI. It's taking over. It's here to stay, man. All I ask people to is just study, innit? Learn how to use it. Learn how it works in a positive way, not in a negative way.
Yeah, you gotta go with the times.
You gotta do it in a positive way, not in a negative way. Because we don't want to do it in a negative way, do it in a positive way that can help others. You get me? In the AI. Because that's just the way it's going at the moment. You gotta embrace it. Embrace change. If you don't embrace change, you get left behind, innit? That's how I look at it. We've got the people. The watching is just rapidly going up, man. I've put a thing in the chat room as well, by the way, a poll. The poll is, do Liverpool, you know, not positive, is it? I'm going to start the poll in a minute. Do Liverpool win the Champions League? Whoa. I'm going to end the poll. And I'm going to give you the result. 19 votes. Rotted. People could be more positive. Positive, man. There is the final decision. Do Liverpool win the Champions League? No. 79%? Yes. 29. Poll complete. 19 votes. All I can say, I've got a 2005 vibe about this season. I've been talking about this since the beginning of time. I've got a 2005 vibe about this season and what happened in 2005. I'll let you guys work that one out. You get me? So yeah, that's it. We're heading off. Like the video. 12 people in the house, 13 people in the house. Like the video. We've got to go now, guys. Got a Formula One video coming up. Thanks for everybody to join us. And remember, guys, we've got the membership as well. I'll bring that up on the screen. Where's the member? There we go. There's the membership. Join the Keep It Sports membership. Rookie 199, Promise 299, and Legendary, where you get exclusive emojis created by TOTO. Ah! So you could join us there. That's Vincent, man. There you go. Anyway, I'm going, man. I'm going. I need to sort myself out, man. Anyway, see you later, guys. Bye.
Where are you guys?